All right, everyone, so I'm going to give you a recap here for today. Finishing the day red, $1,694. Small red day. Yesterday was a small green day. Haven't really made much progress this week. It's just been, well, kind of slow. HCDI, this one halted up on 130,000 shares of volume. Ends up opening like 3 points higher. What can you do? Can't really chase that. CHNS, or CHSN, that's the one that I traded this morning, was green on it and then went red. So I got green on it. I didn't trade it on this first pop. I saw it, didn't trade it. Comes back up, took a trade here as it squeezes through 250, adding as it went up to 3, was up 800, and then bought this dip at 297, and it flushes here all the way down to 270. I added on VWAP, and then it broke VWAP, and I had locked up a loss. I ended up trying to get back in. Where was it? I can't remember now. I had a couple more trades on it. I had probably 5 trades, 2 winners and 3 losers. There were a lot of sellers on this one. I mean, the sellers were stacked up, and it was not easy to trade. So some high volume selling, highest volume there was red, high volume selling here. Kind of comes back up, but there were just a ton of sellers. So that was our leading kind of most obvious gapper this morning, and it wasn't clean. So since I went red on that, I would have been happy. And I did stick around. It's 10:30. I was waiting for something else to pop up. HCDI halted up, but I didn't want to chase that, and nothing else really came up that looked good. So just going to shut it down here and live to trade another day. That's kind of my motto. Keep the red days small. That way I can bounce back. $1,600 is like not a big deal. So, I just kind of lock it up, let it be a red day, and live to trade another day. Be back at it first thing tomorrow. So not much else to cover for today. Overall market, well, I guess you could look at the S&P. We had CPI numbers that came out this morning, and those gave the market a nice pop here from 411 up to 415. So overall market right now is kind of, it's in an interesting area because we're above the 200 moving average, which is good, but I don't have conviction that we're going to stay above it because, one bad economic data and all of a sudden we're going to flush. So at this point, obviously we would like to see, for a bullish perspective, the market back over 415 and then back through like 424, getting into this window up here to 440. That would be very optimistic, but we may come back down to this blue ascending support line, which isn't really perfect. It's a little tricky because we have some of these big drops, which were the result of economic news. So like this big day where we gapped down, but then had a huge green day, that was unexpected. So I don't know. Anyways, that's kind of the big picture of the overall market, and small caps just kind of, the rising tide will lift that ship. Right now, you've got a lot of small cap companies that, the stock pops up, and then, we end up seeing offerings like the next day. We saw an offering on ENSC, which was strong yesterday. These are companies that are having a tough time in this economy. And so, the small companies can get beaten up in a weak economy, and if they're publicly traded, they're going to do these offerings. So we'll see these pops and then offerings, and that's probably going to last for a while, but it's just something I've definitely been noticing. So short-lived opportunities, but right now we're kind of in between a big move. We had TOP and we had GFAI as a couple of recent big move stocks, the AI stocks, the Chinese stocks. So right now we're kind of in between things. So this is a good time for me, at least. I'm thinking just be patient, try to keep my head above water, chip away some green trades. That's great, but not a time to go crazy. Definitely this isn't a time to try to swing big. I'll most likely incur unnecessary losses. If I go red on a day like today, I'm not going to fight it. I'll just let it go, come back tomorrow. If I have a green day where I make, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8,000, that's great. I'm sure I'll have a few more of those this month, even while it's slow, but I'm not going to try to go pedal to the metal and crush it, because this just isn't the time. We need a stock that's really obvious, that's moving with some real, some real volume, and we haven't had that since the Chinese stocks have kind of cooled off. So I'm just going to be patient, and that's kind of the best way you could do it. Survive till you thrive. Just keep your head above water, tread water a little bit, and sort of pick your battles. Know when is the time to dig deep and fight and really try to squeeze out as much as you can, and when's the time just to hang back. And it's like, why swim upstream? Why swim against the current? Just either wait, and when it starts to feel like the wind's at your back, then all right, let's go. And I just think that's the better approach. So anyways, that's what I'm doing right now. My account is sitting only $1,600 off of all-time highs. So from less than $600 to well probably now before fees and commissions 12 million, something like that. So down 1,600 off the all-time highs. I like to keep my account basically in as minimal a drawdown as possible. So drawdowns happen, but I don't want to have a big drawdown because I want to make sure I can, when things pick back up, I'm not recouping losses. I'm just like, adding more profit to the top. All right, so that's it for me. Reminders, always trading's risky. My results aren't typical, but if you're a beginner trader, I encourage you to trade in a simulator, practice before you put real money on the line. And I'll see you back here first thing tomorrow morning. All right, see you then.